expert. I now move my attention towards Suresh Perera, Principal, Head of Tax and Regulatory, KPMG. Suresh, a few weeks ago you were here on the show. We were talking about budget and all that and more. Nothing different. We are being taxed now, and we've got the IMF second tranche, and the people have to face the brunt from the frying pan right into the fire.
So right, basically in the budget there was nothing much about the taxes as we discussed last time, but at the same time I think Mr. Gajendran rightly pointed out or referred to this quote, taxation is a price which civilized communities pay for the opportunity of remaining civilized. So taxes, they also say that there are two types of people who complain about the taxes, men and women. Right? So nobody wants to pay taxes. So basically everyone is complaining about taxes, but take into consideration the situation of our country and take into consideration the tax to GDP ratio of the country. There is a need to collect the taxes. So I will not basically jump into the bandwagon and start criticizing the government's move to collect the taxes. So the taxes have to be collected because to fund the welfare of the country, there are two ways. 3 ways basically. You can print money, you can borrow, or you can increase the taxes. So that's the option that is there. But now Sujya rightly pointed out, government in this situation has taken the easiest way to collect the taxes. What is that? That is basically to increase the VAT. Now that is where my quarrel is. As a professional, I do agree that the taxes have to be collected because there's a big tax gap in the country, that taxes has to be collected. But the manner and the methods by which the taxes is being collected, I do not agree. So I do not agree with Sujiva's policy. Use the easiest technique to collect the taxes, because when you use the easiest technique to collect the taxes, that is going to make the party suffer, nation suffer. There's a duty on the government not to take the shortcut, not to take the easiest technique, but spend time and do the fair thing, do the correct thing. That means basically design the tax policies correctly, fairly, so that basically this tax gap should be collected in an equitable manner, not in the easiest manner. So that is my response to that. Taxes should be collected, but it should be collected in the equitable manner, not in the easiest manner. So for that, can I add that? Yeah. So why is that in Sri Lanka taxes are being collected in the easiest method? That is because in our policy making, tax policy making structure, there is no structure. There is no proper policy unit at the finance ministry. I keep repeating it over and over again, but this is the root cause in Sri Lanka. Why in 2019 taxes were cut down? Who takes the responsibility? Who advised the government to do that thing? Who takes the accountability? Nobody. Why? Because there is no proper structure for that. Who pays for that? The innocent people. Now again, in 2023 also what the government is doing right now is again, because there is no structure, there is no people involved in designing the tax policies in a proper manner, in equitable manner to collect this the required taxes. Like Sujio pointed out, the easiest method is being used, which is wrong. We don't have to follow the easiest method.
So when you look at VAT being imposed now, Suresh, and looking back at budget speech that were made by Ravi Karunayaka and Basil Rajapaksa to impose super gain tax on the rich, that seems to be a much more feasible and a better option than increasing VAT to 18% and bringing forth areas that were not even covered by VAT anymore. Because the policy was take from the rich and try to pay the poor. What is happening right now is get the money from the poor and keep nourishing the rich as much as possible. Is that fair? Is that the way to go about?
Okay, since you mentioned two names of previous finance ministers, let me approach your question in this manner, right? If I happen to be the finance minister of this country today, what would I do, right? We have to collect taxes, as I pointed out, but the first thing that I would do is, why there's a cause why we are in this situation, why the nation is suffering like this today. That is because of the wrongdoers. Even in 2015, why did the government was voted out? Because there was the nation, the country as a whole basically agreed there were, how do I say, corruption, except
there were a lot of issues with regard to government.
Yeah. So that's why that change happened in 2015. And in the
Whoever
2015,
came after that made more mistakes, but still for all.
In 2015 budget speech, there was a reference to imposition of tax on wrongdoers. The budget speech had this phrase, taxes on the wrongdoers. It is that concept of the taxes of the wrongdoers that was labeled as super gains tax. And that was collected not exactly from the wrongdoers, but from the people who made
the super rich.
Yeah, super rich, or let me say the people had high revenue, right? Those corporates as well as the individuals. So there is a how do I say? This is the concept of basically collection of the taxes from the people who can afford to pay. The broad shoulders should bear more taxes. So that is the concept that Adam Smith has referred to as the canon of equity. So yes, so canon of equity was observed. So that's why you also said that it is fair. Super gain tax is a more fair tax. Correct. So basically, at this juncture, from looking at it from that side, that angle, as opposed to taking the easiest method and increasing the VAT for everyone, which is unfair, which is not equitable, I would go with that. Yes, not in the same manner, but at the same time, the brunt should be on the broader shoulders, who can bear it, not from everyone.
Thank you very much, Suresh Perera, Principal Head of Tax and Regulatory, KPMG. I now move my attention to